Welcome to Enliven Planters Spring Care Guide. We're going to teach you tips and tricks to keep your spring arrangements looking fresh the entire season. We'll cover topics like watering, deadheading, and fertilizing, and we've broken the video up into chapters so you can skip ahead to whatever topics you really want to focus on. Spring is our most unpredictable season at Enliven. With over 10 plus years in business, we've seen temperatures from the upper 20s to the mid 90s during the spring season. So we design all of our arrangements to handle that wild temperature fluctuation. All the blooms you see in your spring arrangements are cool season annuals, so they really thrive during the colder months. They're all cold grown or at least hardened off before we put them into your arrangements. And you'll also see us feature a lot of evergreens and shrubs that really give the arrangements some body and some height as the more tender cool season annuals really grow up around them. Spring is a very dynamic season, so what you'll see is a lot of the plants are going to double or triple in size and really burst in blooms. So a common question we get, especially from new customers, is, oh, my planter isn't as colorful or as big as what I saw on the website or your Instagram. And the fact of the matter is we're going to cut in just some video of what it looked like when I was planting these arrangements 4 weeks ago. And then now you see what they can grow into over time. And if we planted them in full color and full size, it would just get really leggy and green midway through the season and wouldn't look that great. So we try to make sure that everything is peaking midway through the season. Now let's talk about deadheading. So deadheading is when you remove a spent bloom on a plant or some foliage just to keep everything a little bit tighter and to remove blooms that may have faded. So throughout all of our arrangements, throughout all the seasons, but especially the spring, we try to use self-cleaning plants. So, when a bloom is done, it's just going to drop the old bloom. But some plants are a little bit too pretty not to use. So examples like phlox, salvia, osteos, those are all plants that when the bloom's done, it might shrivel up and turn brown. The plant's not dead. It's just that specific bloom is done blooming. So you can always just reach in and pinch them off. So we'll, or snip them off with some scissors, and we'll talk about some of those techniques now. So for pinching back and deadheading, there's two main techniques. The first one is my preferred method, which is going to be with your fingers. You find the spent bloom that you want to get rid of. You reach in, give it a quick pinch, it comes right off. I like to make sure that I'm pinching at a spot where I'm not going to see the pinched off end and it kind of fades within the other blooms. The other opportunity is to use clippers. Similar technique. You find out where you want to clip, you hold it, give it a quick snip, and it's easy as that. So now we're going to talk about fertilizer. So all of your arrangements are going to have pelletized time-release fertilizer mixed into the soil before we plant. Those are going to dissolve gradually over the course of the season, and with the spring being a little bit more mild than the summer, less watering, they should last you the entire season and slowly dissolve, really giving the flowers the food they need to bloom. If you want some extra credit and want to go above and beyond, there's plenty of options available online and at your local garden center, which we can include a link in the description. Typically, those are either something you put at the end of your hose, which is a liquid feed with a bloom boosting formula, or you can have powder that dissolves into your watering can. And typically what we recommend is watering, once a week with those fertilizers. You don't want to overdo it. So once a week is typically what we recommend. So watering is the only thing you need to do when it comes to care for your planters. So what our recommendation is watering your container every other day in the spring should be sufficient. It's going to vary and you'll get used to your individual container, whether it's a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, whether it's in the sun or the shade. So what we'll include is a table on our website and in the description below on how much water you should be giving individual plants based on the size of the container. But we're going to go over some watering tips and techniques with a hose and then with a watering can, and you can follow along. So for watering with a hose, you really want something with a shower tip like this, so that it's this nice gentle rain that you're going to be providing the watering with. Good mantra is low and slow, and you want to be remembering that you're watering the soil and the roots, not the blooms and the foliage. So you really want to soak everything through, and you'll know that everything's soaked through when water starts running out of the bottom of the container. We're going to include a reference chart so that you know typically how long it takes to water each size container. Just make sure water's running out of the bottom, you're going low and slow, and follow those tips. And with watering cans, it's similar to the hose, low and slow. Make sure you're getting the soil and the roots. and you can refer to our watering table on our frequently asked questions page or in the description below to know what kind of volume you need to give each size planter. And that's really all there is to it. Spring planters are wildly self-sufficient, and if you follow these tips and tricks, you're going to have really beautiful, colorful arrangements throughout the entire season. As always, if you have any questions, reach out to us on our website or via email at info@enlivenplanters.com, and we're always happy to help.